Today we are going to talk about review process. The review process can be done basically on anything. Let's take a few different scenarios. Scenario number one, related to me personally. I will have a small army of virtual assistants that will help me input details into my CRM. I don't want to be part of the input process, but I do want to be part of the reviewing process, just to make sure that they did a good job and they did not enter information that is not proper to my CRM, because my CRM needs to be perfect. So this is one option on how to use the review process. Another usage of the review process is whenever I have a deal process and I want someone higher in the food chain to make sure that the employee is not doing something stupid. And that's something that the review process will also cover. Now, in the example that I'm going to show you today, it will be for an insurance company. Whenever my insurance agent is getting the information, there are some things that will trigger an audit based on the information. So if I will go here and I will go to the settings, and then I will click on review process, and if you don't have this button, contact me and I will hook you up, because this is an early release. There is a good chance you don't have it in your system. I will click on create new process and I will need to give it a name. So let's say car insurance review process. That will run on my car insurance module, which is a custom module that I created specifically for this session. And I want this review process to be initiated if two things will happen. One, it's if the car is doing 30,000 miles a year, and in addition, if the person who owns the car is her. Okay, so those are the two things that will trigger the review process. Otherwise, it will continue no problem. Let's click on next. Then I have the fields that I want to personally verify. So let's assume that if those criteria are in place, I want to make sure that the currency, for example, will be Canadian currency. I want to make sure the primary use of the vehicle and also the zip code. Those will be the things that I want to verify in this case. And let's click on next. Now I can have here a sub criteria, which means more conditions. In our case, let's make it simple. It will run on all the records. And let's click here to select the people that's supposed to review the process, and let's assume it will be my son. That's it. Let's click on next. And now let's save the process, and I will go to the module car insurance, and I will create my first record. I will have here some details, and that will be BMW 2018 insurance, some email, whatever it is, and let's have here some details. Now, if you remember, I set the review process to be based on her, so if she's driving the car and it's more than 30,000 kilometers, so that, or miles, so that will be the criteria. Once I will click on save, this record, oh, it's not a valid email address. I'm shocked. This is good. Okay. So now you can see that the record was entered into a new review process. You will see on the top that it's pending for review, and I have here approved and reject. Now, beside each box that I want to review, there is a small checkbox. Let's assume that the zip code that was entered is invalid. I will write here invalid zip code, and then I will click on reject. And now the user just got a notification that this record was rejected because of the invalid zip code. I will click on the next record, which is the primary use, and I will approve it because it's all good. And you can see here on the top a red checkbox, which is not good, and a green checkbox, which is good. I will click here, the currency is also approved. And now I will have here the bottom line, reason for rejecting the record. Let's say that says data insufficient, and I will click on done. So right now everything is done. The record is rejected, it's not approved, and now my user can continue work on the record and fill the details and send it back to me for review. If, for example, it was rejected for some other reason, maybe more accident or something like that, it can end with the user, which means me as an approver, I do not need to get it again. So that's also something that can be used for this purpose. Now the record will always stays like that, and you will have this kind of information for later use. So you're able to also understand why you rejected this deal or this specific proposal. Very, very cool. If you like the session, thumbs up, give me some love. If you don't like the session or you want different type of content, shoot me in the comments and I will be more than happy to accommodate your needs. I am here for you. Okay? Thank you very much. We'll see you the next time.